Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are unbelievably bullish on the cryptocurrency space. And today we're going to be taking a look at 10 altcoins. That's right, 10 altcoins that all have the same technical pattern on the daily time frame that lead us to believe a serious move to the upside is to come for not just these altcoins, but the cryptocurrency space at large. So strap yourselves in. We've got 10 altcoins to get through. Use this video, if you hold any of these altcoins, as an opinion on what might be about to happen next. And you can come back and tell me whether we've been right or wrong in the future. We obviously think on balance of probabilities that we are going to be right on this. We're seeing similar things throughout the cryptocurrency space and the altcoin sector, also Bitcoin, crypto stocks. And that leads us to believe that this pullback that Bitcoin and the crypto space has been going through since the start of this year, very common actually to have a sort of downside start to a new presidential year. But when we see all these things across the board, it leads us to one conclusion, and that is that the cryptocurrency space is about to do very well over the coming weeks and months. And we're going to give you 10 altcoins that there's certainly technical merit for. Where I want to start, though, however, is with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still the tide that rises and sinks all ships. We've not really seen an alt season in the sense that we've seen Bitcoin dominance drop yet. Are we going to see one? Well, I believe so. I think in the future, and I actually have technical merit for this also, Bitcoin dominance could be in the 25% sort of percent range, a quarter of the space. Right now, it's 60+%. And that, I think, is with the maturing of this industry and space as a whole, and us moving away from a more speculative asset class to a real-world usage and utility one. Certainly, stable coins and tokenization are going to be one of the biggest narratives this cycle. But when we look at Bitcoin, we've always said this and continue to reiterate it, and our entry back into the crypto space was on the 5th of January. This is still in a pronounced uptrend, and it's likely that you're going to see continuation. We also have a concession of technical patterns, whether it's the inverse head and shoulders, whether it's a bull flag, whether it's a cup and handle. The DAX recently made its cup and handle before selling off, that lead us to believe upside is ahead. And with an uptrend, the pullbacks are descending, and often they'll form continuation structures in the form of flags, pennants, or what we have today, which is a wedge, which is a reversal pattern that ultimately sees Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space head on to higher grounds. I'm also looking at some crypto stocks that I own, and I'm seeing similar things in regards to reversal patterns that lead me to believe upside is ahead. And we're going to relate this to these 10 altcoins that also have this similar pattern. So Bitcoin could be setting up a bit of a falling wedge. It's started to break out of it. It's certainly broken out of this capping resistance level or trend line, what you might want to look at. And now I believe it's on its way to the upside. So we've got very positive signs for Bitcoin. Also, economically, we had news on tariffs last week in regards to that 90-day pause. I think more so than anything, it shows a willingness to negotiate, which has always been my theory on how tariffs will play out. The markets are very much priced in Liberation Day's announcements, literally, and an escalation of them and what that would mean economically. I think there's going to be a middle ground, or that's kind of maybe halfway accurate, perhaps. And there'll be a big putting back onto the markets. And actually, we saw records broken on Friday in regards to people getting back into the stock markets. And with the kind of money that we saw, you can only but come to the conclusion that's institutional. So there is reversal structure for Bitcoin that sees continuation in this uptrend. And really what we're here to talk about today is 10 altcoins that are going to do well. And I'm going to start off with Stellar Lumens. And we're going to be looking at this falling wedge pattern. And it's perhaps worth me explaining the falling wedge pattern and kind of fundamentally what's behind it. What you get typically in an uptrend, or it can be a downtrend, is a real explosive move, in this case to the upside. And you'll kind of blow off, you'll see your most volume here, and then you'll get a pullback, and this is very bullish, that's on descending volume. And you can actually see that playing out within the price action. So anybody that's familiar with Bollinger Bands will know that that's kind of a theory. There's lots to Bollinger Bands, but one of the kind of things you look for is a squeezing in volatility in the bands, because that typically leads to an expansion on the other side. And that's really what you're looking at when you're looking at a falling wedge. And these are textbook, more so than Bitcoin. So since we've been going through this pullback, these are the patterns, or this is the pattern that many altcoins, we've got 10 of them, but there's more, have been setting up that ultimately lead us to believe there's continuation ahead, which aligns with our macro view on things. So this is Stellar Lumens. You can see the volatility restricting. You can see that through price action. You can see that through volume, ultimately ready for an expansion. And this gives me, you'll remember we did a video similar to this in November where we looked at loads of falling wedges. The majority of them played out. And for some altcoins, we got hundreds and hundreds of percents out of. HBAR was like 700%. We're at a similar point today, and I think lift off, start your engines. We're about to get off to the races, guys. So Stellar Lumens is altcoin number 1 that we have for you. And again, maybe you hold these cryptos. Maybe you can just use them as a barometer for the direction the space is likely going in over the coming weeks and months. Then, of course, we've got HBAR. You guys all know what a fan of HBAR I am. And these are all really on the cusp of breaking out. And you can see your volume profile is perfectly aligned. You can see a restriction in volume. Where's the volume started to pick up? Oh, what a surprise. Ready for that expansion. If you look at Hedera, same thing. You get a real blow-off move here. And then we've been pulling back. Everyone's max bearish. Volatility restricting. Look at where we're starting to gain again. And you'll see a breakout to the upside for Hedera, in my opinion. Just make sure you guys can see that. My big head isn't in the way. We have Ondo. A lot of these are ISO coins. And coins that are centered around the kind of tokenization stablecoin narrative that we know is coming. And actual, what this is going to do is enable finance on-chain. So you can see with Ondo, again, you've got your 3 sort of moves here and your volatility is restricting. There's been a lot of volume here, and I think that's telling, mainly to the upside and on the up legs. It's likely you're going to get an expansion and a completion on the back end of this. We, of course, have Algo. We've been lucky enough to interview a lot of the Algo fam. Again, similar thing. Look at your volume. Your volume's telling you everything you need to know here. Ready for a pickup and an expansion. And a move similar to what we saw in December for many of these, I believe. You can't take this to the bank. This isn't financial advice. It's just my own technical opinion on everything. Take or leave it. And come back to us in a couple of weeks and see how we've progressed. We have, Algo. Then we have XDC. This is already broken out and is starting its journey. Again, look at your volume. And when you understand fundamentally what's going on here, things start to make quite a lot of sense. This pullback, who's in charge of this market? The pullback's been on no volume, certainly for altcoins. And it's formed what is a bullish reversal pattern. So XDC is progressing out of his. We did do a video when it was down here and it's sort of moving in the right direction. Link, another favorite of mine, doing a very similar thing. Breakout likely coming. Remember, this is a great example of a falling wedge previously here. 1, 2, 3. Real move coming. And you're going to see a similar thing for this wedge that Link is in today. And these cryptocurrencies are in more broadly. We then have AVAX Avalanche. This is already broken out of it and is retesting, in my opinion. And you're likely going to see that continuation. For you meme coiners out there, I'm not a meme coiner because it's just not the game that I'm very good at. I'm sort of better at hitting home runs with cryptocurrencies that I think are fundamentally going to change the world, not just to be speculated on. And gambled on, really. And who knows, maybe Dogecoin does become the currency of Mars. But I call Mars Neverland because we're never going to get there. And, anyway, that's going to really trigger some people. But Dogecoin, again, similar thing. Dogecoin gave us a great falling wedge back here also. And look at that for target. We called all of this. It's also in line with a sort of macro context of where these altcoins are at in regards to how markets move. You've got Shiba Inu. Another meme coin looking good. So memes are going to do well. It means the space as a whole is going to do well. And then the last one that I've got for you is Aave, which I think is not only at support in a falling wedge fashion, this is getting ready for a real expansion. So when we look at Bitcoin, we've got technical merit to see this move to the upside in the form of a falling wedge in line with a broader trend. Then when we look at the altcoin sector, all showing similar signs. So I would say on balance of probabilities, and that's what technical analysis is, it's a probabilities-based game. We're looking for an edge in the markets, and what we're getting right now is one in regards to what's about to happen, and we're saying upside is coming. So on balance of probabilities, things are about to get rocking and rolling, and we don't want people getting left behind. That's for sure. Just to recap, the coins that we've looked at were XLM, Stellar Lumens, Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR, Ondo Finance, Ondo, Algorand's Algo token, XDC's XDC token, Chainlink's Link token, Avalanche's AVAX, Dogecoin's Doge token, Shiba Inu's SHIB token, and Aave Aave token. So that's it from me, guys. 10 altcoins that look brilliant. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You guys also go away and see if you can spot any falling wedges yourself and let me know in the comment section. Get TradingView. If you're going to be an investor, start to just learn to look at charts. They're the most accurate representation of history as it relates to something, being, you know, a stock, a crypto, whatever it may be. And for me, all you're looking at when you look at a chart is markets are a voting mechanism and how people are voting and what potentially they're expecting. And, you know, if you know that a technical pattern like a falling wedge plays out 9 times out of 10, well, you've got a 9 out of 10 probability of being right in the future, which I'll take to, I'll take to the bank. You can't take it to the bank, but I'll take any day over sort of guesswork around all of this. So that's it from me, guys. I'm going to love and leave you all. They were 10 altcoins that look unbelievably bullish. There are a lot more out there, and it's in line with more broadly where the space is heading. See you all in the next one.